Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together we're Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
And we're talking about another health topic this morning. So here we go, involving diabetes.
Yeah. A growing body of research suggests the brain plays a central role in diabetic ketoacidosis, opening the possibility of treating type 1 diabetes in an entirely new way. More than 10 years ago, scientists made an unexpected discovery about a life-threatening complication of type 1 diabetes. They found that diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA, could be reversed using the hormone leptin, even when insulin was not present. Would you like to know more?
Interesting. Diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA, as Steve just said, is one of the most dangerous emergencies linked to type 1 diabetes. When the body cannot make insulin, it cannot use sugar for energy in the usual way. Instead, it shifts into fat burning, which can send sugar or glucose and ketoacids climb into deadly levels in the bloodstream. A new analysis published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation on August 1st of last year takes a closer look at how leptin acts on the brain and why this pathway could eventually shape new treatments. Okay.
I think what we need is nanites that will eat the fat. That would be awesome.
Nanites.
They just go after fat, nanites.
You got to release those into your body, kind of like the Fantastic Voyage. Put them in a capsule, send them in,
and then you could just either flush them, while you urinate or defecate. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay.
DKA develops when the body cannot produce insulin and begins breaking down fat for energy used instead. As fat is metabolized, levels of sugar, glucose, and keto acids rise in the bloodstream. Without treatment, this buildup can become life-threatening. Traditionally, doctors have relied on insulin therapy to correct the condition, the authors noted.
The new report argues that insulin deficiency is only part of the story. Drawing on years of research, including studies conducted at UW-Medicine since 2011, the analysis concludes that the brain plays a central role in triggering DKA when insulin levels fall too low.
When the pancreas stops producing insulin, the brain gets the message that the body is out of fuel, even if it's not. This information is being communicated in part by a low blood level of the hormone leptin, said senior author Dr. Michael Schwartz, professor of medicine, division of metabolism, endocrinology, and nutrition at the University of Washington School of Medicine.
All right. Leptin is a hormone made by fat cells that helps regulate appetite and body weight. After being released into the bloodstream, it travels to the, nanites. It travels to the brain, especially to a region known as the hypothalamus.
Yep.
This area controls hunger and energy balance.
When leptin levels drop, the brain responds as if the body is running out of fuel. It activates neural pathways that increase the production of energy sources, including glucose and ketones. In people with little or no insulin, that response can worsen high blood sugar and accelerate DKA.
Schwartz and his colleagues uncovered this link in 2011. They injected leptin directly into the brains of rats and mice with type 1 diabetes. At first, there was no visible change. After 4 days, however, the animals' blood glucose and ketone levels returned to normal, despite severe ongoing insulin deficiency. The results suggested that the brain, under certain conditions, can keep blood sugar in a normal range even without insulin, Schwartz said. That's cool.
Yeah. When the findings were first reported, many diabetes researchers were unsure how to interpret them. Schwartz now plans to seek FDA approval to launch clinical trials to determine whether leptin can safely normalize blood sugar levels in people with type 1 diabetes.
So I guess you just got to be patient, right? They inject this stuff and you got to wait a few days. There's a waiting period, okay? If human studies confirm the earlier results, treatments that target the brain could become a new strategy for managing type 1 diabetes. Quote, "This is one of the most exciting discoveries of my career," says co-author Dr. Earl Hirsch, a UW-Medicine diabetes treatment and teaching chair and professor of metabolism, endocrinology, and nutrition at the University of Washington School of Medicine. That's a long bio right there.
Yeah, yeah. Hurst said that using leptin to control blood glucose could create new options for patients. Schwartz emphasized that managing insulin is a daily challenge for patients and their families. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The painful injections to get the blood sugar, to test the blood sugar. Here's a quote. I think if you could treat type 1 diabetes without daily insulin injections and blood sugar monitoring, patients would say that is the greatest thing ever, he added.
Yeah. According to the researchers, if the brain can be reassured that the body's fuel supply is adequate, or if specific neurons that drive glucose and ketone production can be silenced, the chain reaction that leads to severe hypoglycemia and DKA may be stopped. So you mentioned about testing and stuff. So I know a couple people actually. They have this little disc that's mounted on their arm, and they just take this monitor, just place it right there. So no pricking the finger anymore. Or testing
Yeah,
your
but
blood.
you prick that point, and it stays on there for a week or so.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
that's a painful point.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if they can put it on that same spot every time. I don't know if they have to move it.
Move it.
But it's still, the injections are still there. I remember this, watching people just before they eat or whenever they take these shots, and yeah, I'm not a big shot needle guy, so I don't know if I could do that. That would be tough. I guess if you needed to survive, though, you're going to do it. So, but this sounds like a promising little advance here. So let's keep up on that one. So, all right.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us.
See you this afternoon. Thanks.